Greetings of the day, students. This is the cloud security topic. We have not covered this in the class, so I am posting you here now. Please see it carefully as it has not been covered in the class. If there is any query, then do post your queries or WhatsApp to me. So in this topic we shall be covering who is responsible for maintaining the security on the clouds, what are the three security goals of the clouds, and what are the possible security issues or threats to the clouds and the preventive measures. Cloud security is a shared responsibility of cloud service providers and the users. Means both the providers, service providers, as well as the organizations which are availing the service, they are responsible on a shared basis for maintaining the security. Irrespective of whether the organization is using SaaS based service or PaaS based service or IaaS based service, the responsibility is shared between the two parties. So we can classify the security concerns between these two parties as security issues faced by the cloud providers and security issues faced by their customers. Cloud security is a responsibility shared between the customers and the cloud service providers. For on-premises application, the whole responsibility lies with the customers. For IaaS-based applications, the cloud service provider takes care of the hypervisor infrastructure and the physical layer communications, whereas the client organization is responsible for user authentication, protecting its data, applications, operating system configurations, and how to monitor the network traffic. When we move to the when we are using the PaaS based service, the client organization is responsible for user authentication, which kind of users can access which portions of data and applications. It is responsible for setting up its data settings and application settings, and the rest things are taken care of by the cloud service providers. And for SaaS based software as a service kind of application, if you are hosting some application on the cloud and using the SaaS based model, then you as a customer are responsible for user authentication and protecting the data settings. There are three security goals of clouds: confidentiality, access controllability, and integrity. Confidentiality means no one should be able to access your data on the cloud illegally, and access controllability means you are on the cloud, you can control which users can access which kind of data, which data portions, and it keeps tracks of all the things which are taking place on the cloud based system. Then the third security goal is integrity. Integrity means by no means the data which is at rest, means the data which is stored on the cloud, it should not be tampered, it should not be modified in any manner, or it should not get lost or deleted in any way. So in case the data is lost, some portion of data is lost for any reason, so there should be proper backup mechanisms that system can be recovered back. Then there are security issues or threats to cloud security. These issues can be divided into traditional security threats, means which take place, the threats which were always there when the clouds were not there, and there are the second category is specific cloud computing threats. There are some specific cloud computing threats which arise only because you have migrated to the clouds. So this is a brief summary of threats which we will be seeing in the subsequent slides. So let us begin discussing each one of these. The first one is data breach. Data breach means your data is stolen or viewed. Data is stolen or it is illegally viewed or read by any unauthorized individual. And to prevent the data breaches, end-to-end encryption algorithms like WhatsApp uses end-to-end encryption algorithms. So such algorithms ensure that the data cannot be changed in transition, means data cannot be changed on the way by any means. Then for data at rest means data which is stored at the cloud. So strong encryption algorithms should also be applied there. And what are those strong encryption algorithms? These are the algorithms which are based upon salt and hashes concept. We have discussed this concept during the information security. You have studied in semester 3rd. I hope you must be remembering that little bit. There was a password table and salt and hashes concept was used to ensure that no one can steal the data. Then the second type of threat or attack is abuse of cloud services. Abuse of cloud services means it may be possible that the ill-intentioned people or the hackers, they have hired the servers from the cloud and then they are using those servers for spreading malware. So for example, they may be using those servers, those rented servers, for launching the distributed denial of service kinds of attacks, for phishing purposes, for launching the email spams and so on. And to prevent the abuse of cloud services, the cloud service providers employ the data loss prevention DLP technologies, which keep on monitoring how the server is being used, and thus any unauthorized data exfiltration, data being sent out, can be stopped. So they may bring to the notice of the cloud service provider that this type of mail or this type of mail is being sent in thousands or lakhs amount to the other parties. So the cloud service provider can take note of this and can inquire that whether whether the user is a genuine one or a hacker. Then the other kind of attacks which can take place are injection attacks, or we can classify them as cloud malware. So cross sites, its common examples are cross-site scripting attacks and SQL injection attacks. So what does the first type means? Cross-site scripting attack means that hackers add an infected module to the application which is hosted on the cloud. And SQL injection attack means the hacker is attaching the malware to the SQL database, so or to the SQL engine. So when some queries post, the results will not be the correct results. To prevent injection attacks, cloud-based firewalls, antivirus and anti-spy software are used. Then there is account hijacking. It means full compromise and control of a cloud service. Account or subscription means you have taken up the service and somebody else is also using that service along with you. To prevent account hijacking, multi-factor authentication MFA is used, or one-time passwords or biometric schemes etc. are used. Then there are insider threats, means threats from the employees of the organization itself. So to ensure that to cope up with these insider threats, IAM technologies, identity and access management technologies, intrusion detection systems can be used, and the cloud developers make use of role-based permissions, role-based access control mechanisms to minimize such kind of threats. You can search on internet in detail about what is the IAM technology. You can refer to the cloud.google.com for this, and also what is the intrusion detection system. And role-based discretionary access, you have studied it in third semester also. Different roles are assigned, and one user can belong to more than one role, and depending upon the role which he has logged on, that person is assigned privileges. Here in this slide, multi-factor authentication is shown. So multi-factor authentication means the authentication is taking place at different levels. So user sees the login page, and that login is simply sent to taken up by an application, and then that from that application the login ID and password, those credentials are given to the IAM system. Sorry, that IAM system, the IAM system then encrypts the login and password details, and then the cloud service provider that takes up that credentials, and then those are again verified at the cloud server. Authentication takes place at the cloud server once more, and then the resources are assigned to the user. So this is the multi-factor authentication. Then comes identity access management, IAM, in clouds. So this is a very contemporary topic. You may search in detail about this on Google, especially Google resources, cloud.google.com. You may find it there. What is IAM? So IAM means the IAM module takes care of the user as well as takes care of the device from which the user is logging on. The cloud services which we use, like we use Gmail or Google Classroom. So you may have noticed that the security system is keeping track of our login and password, as well as it is also keeping track of the devices through which we are logging on. So if we are logging on from a different device, that is also being noted and also notified to us that you are logging from a different device. So if somebody else is logging on from that device on our part, then we are notified about this, and we can make necessary actions. So our identity and the device identity that is taken up there means IP address, location, session, time. All these things are stored, notified to us also. And then there is a rules engine. Rules engine means it will check out whether these credentials are correct or not correct, and then depending upon the output of this rules engine, we all these resources are enforced to us, means we can access which resources and up to which extent. Then is intrusion detection model. So let us see how does it work. As you can see from the diagram, a third party provides the IDS services to the cloud service provider. So it is providing this cloud IDS, cloud intrusion detection server, and this server keeps on monitoring that which users are trying to access these cloud servers, and whether these users and those devices are authenticated ones or not. Whenever it is doubtful of any access, any authentication attempt, then it raises an alarm to this service provider, the IDS service provider, and based upon this alarm, this IDS service provider sends out the reports, advisory reports to the cloud service provider that something wrong is going on, and how the service provider can make changes in the configuration of its cloud to prevent any type of attacks. And similarly, it sends the reports to the customers or the user organizations also that something malicious is being attempted. Then there are side channel attacks, and side channel attack means the attackers side channel attack means the attacker places a malicious virtual machine. So this malicious virtual machine takes over the target virtual machine which was hired by the user. So when this kind of attack happens, the user or the organization is dealing up with the malicious virtual machine and not with the actual virtual machine which it had hired. So side channel, you can say that side channel attacks take place in IaaS platforms, because it is on IaaS platforms that virtual machines are hired. Then there are wrapping attacks. So wrapping attack means someone during the transition of information from the client side to the cloud, in between on the way, during this transition process, some malicious program tries to read out the information, and maybe it is trying to change the information also. Then the third category, next category is man in the cloud attacks. So it means hackers can reconfigure the cloud services. Hacker can check out that what cloud services are being availed by an organization. They can intercept this thing, and they can change the settings of cloud services. So that is a man in the cloud attack. How these attacks can be these three types of attacks can be prevented. These are prevented by using cloud access security brokers, CASB software. This term is used. So this software, it lies somewhere within the network, somewhere between the client and the cloud server end. So it takes place of all the it traces all the activity which is happening in the cloud, and it is tracing the all the packets which are coming from the client side to the cloud, and vice versa also. And it also monitors that how the packets are being routed. So if anything malicious happens during the transition of data from one side to the other side, then that can be brought to the notice of the service provider as well as to the clients. So it means the cloud elasticity and auto scaling features means we have studied that cloud services can auto scale themselves to meet up the user expectations, and during the subscription process itself, the users can reduce the resources or they can increase the resources. But when this kind of attack takes place, the user bill is increased. The user bill is increased based, and which may cause the loss of goodwill of the organizations or the service withdrawals, and the cloud reputation overall is affected. Then there are advanced persistent threats, APTs. So APTs means some organizations or some hackers, they are continuously stealing, they are continuously looking up at your information, and those are not being noticed. So and when these attacks take place for a long time, so it may happen that they also make they also affect the network traffic and how the data is being moved from one end to the other end. And to prevent APTs, the cloud service developers should implement strong authentication and identity management, and they should also establish the multi-factor authentication, which we have seen in the previous slides. Then is misconfiguration and inadequate change control. If the uh, staff, you can say, if the cloud service provider is not technically trained enough to uh, uh, configure the resources, means if it is if on the cloud service providers end some misconfigurations take place, like unsecured data storage elements or excessive permissions, means undue permissions are being granted, or the default credentials are not changed, like default passwords are not changed, or configuration settings are not properly defined. So all these kind of misconfigurations, they may pose a threat in the future. Due diligence means they should pay proper attention diligently, they should be performing the security and verification procedures required on their part. Then there are metastructure and appli structure failures. So it means that the API is developed by untrained developers. So the application itself may pose may be open to the attacks by from different sources. So the API developed should itself should consider all the security issues. So the cloud providers should conduct penetration testing and provide findings to the customers to prevent these kind of failures. It means that the cloud service provider which is providing that application for its customers, so cloud service provider should show the results of penetration testing to the customers and take them into confidence that their application is foolproof. Then the next one is limited cloud usage visibility. It means that the administrators within the Azure organization, they should be setting up the roles and permissions correctly, and they must perform the security procedures required for a cloud hosting safely. So for this the organization should implement a zero trust model, means they should not be uh, 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 trusting any employees. Zero trust model means you for your part, at your part all the employees are at same level, and anyone can act as an insider threat. So all the safeguard measures on part of the organization should be properly taken care of. So limited cloud usage visibility means when the organization itself is not able to foresee that how their own staff members could pose a threat to them, so that is known as limited cloud usage visibility. Then there is a spectre and meltdown kind of threats. So this this kind of attack particularly happens with JavaScript code. JavaScript is a very prominent application development language. So this particular threat happens with this kind of threat applications which are written in JavaScript. So what happens here, that adversaries means ill-intentioned people can break the isolation between applications and operating system. So The malware can reach up to the kernel level and change its settings or configurations. So for this, all cloud users means cloud customers must install the latest security patches required for the operating system, as well as required for the applications like JavaScript itself.